Hi everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. It's a beautiful day out here on the lake. I woke up early again, probably woke up about 5 o'clock, fooled around in the room a little bit, got ready, and then came out here. It's a little cooler today. We had some rain yesterday, and today it's about 52 degrees this morning, a little bit of a breeze coming off of the lake, and it feels amazing, 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 because I'll be back in that South Alabama heat soon enough, and this is just a nice break, after a hot Alabama summer. It's just been a beautiful experience here, man. I feel amazing. If I could live in an environment like this, I would go. I came here feeling amazing this year, but if I could live in an environment with this kind of food, this kind of people, this kind of energy, oh my goodness, it would just be crazy. Anyhow, just gonna throw it out there and talk about coffee, caffeine today. I do videos every day. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, go down there and hit that subscribe button now, and then immediately go click on the little bell and check send notifications, or you may not stay subscribed to the channel. YouTube's very, very wonky for a while now. I don't talk about coffee, caffeine all that much. I may have never talked about it, actually. I'll kind of give you a brief little history of since I've gone raw. Well, I'll even go back just a little bit. I remember for years and years and years, I drank coffee even as a kid. Not as a kid, but once I got into college, I drank coffee. Through the years, it just became a regular thing in the morning. I remember back in times when I was younger and I'd drink a pot of coffee in the morning before 10 or 11 o'clock. And then a lot of times I would just, that's probably why the weight never got too high. A lot of times when those lulls would hit, I'd use coffee, way back in the day. We're talking years and years and years ago, at least 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago and back. But, if there was a time when I knew it wasn't time to, I shouldn't really be eating, but, you had something, it's more like you just needed to do something. You weren't really hungry. But anyhow, I would kind of substitute. Instead of eating something, I would drink coffee. And sometimes I just drank coffee all day, It's a wonder my adrenals aren't just like blown out, don't even have any. But when I became raw vegan about 6.5 years ago, as I've told you many, many times, I was living in San Jose, Costa Rica. And I watched what people said, and it just made sense it just generally made sense with this lifestyle. I don't know why. A lot of things just made sense. I can't tell you where I learned them, why I got them, or why I thought that, but it just didn't make sense to drink coffee from the beginning with this lifestyle, anyhow, on a regular basis. So at the very beginning, I was living in San Jose. There was a farmer's market I used to go to on Saturday mornings, not the one I went to just about a year ago, but down in the city. And I got in this little habit of once a week, I would get a coffee at the farmer's market, because they had, it was really good coffee, and they generally had either fresh made almond milk or fresh made cashew milk. So once a week I would have like a cappuccino or a latte there. Every so often I would want to go read the Sunday paper in Costa Rica, and I would go out and get a single coffee on Sunday morning. But most of the time, for a long time there, it was just one a week. And any of the times I've done it, it got away from that whole, pot after, cup after cup, and even having a pot, it would just be one in the morning. I'm trying to think throughout the years. I went for a long time. I never completely quit, and I never claimed to completely quit. People would ask me from time to time, and I'd tell them, and I decide, I have it. And then I was having it from time to time. When I got to the mountains in Costa Rica, I let myself, I kind of made a conscious decision. It's not like I just fell into it or I fell off or anything. It's just this atmosphere. It is nice. It's just something I enjoy. Let me back up a step. It has nothing to do with the caffeine for me. Nothing to do with the caffeine for me, especially when you're having one cup of coffee in the morning. But I genuinely like the taste of coffee. I like strong coffee. I like strong black coffee. I like the taste. And it's just, especially in the cold weather, it's just nice to have that. So I went through the years. I probably just had them scattered. I went up and down. Well, when I got to the mountain, yeah, I got back into a point, and I think I had a coffee from time to time, but I think maybe the last 2 or 3 months, and I knew I was going back to the States for a long time. I really tuned into the mornings, and I think I had a coffee almost every morning. A coffee, remember, always remember that. Then I get back to the States, and it's kind of sporadic. I'm off and on, and winter came back around again, and it just progressively, I kind of had a cup every morning. And then let's see, when my mom went in the nursing home, and I was there at the house by myself, I kind of mostly let it go again to a good extent, but I would have it maybe a couple of days a week. And it became more a way to get out of the house. Me being in that little town by myself, there was it's recently closed, but there was a little coffee shop in my town, so I'd go down there a couple of times a week. And anyhow, the point being, I would dabble and dabble and dabble back and forth. Yeah, and then I guess, I don't know, I'd kind of almost gotten back to where I was just sitting there having a cup of coffee again, in the morning. So anyhow, I know I'm jumping around. It gets kind of sporadic. In other words, like I went from drinking a lot, background of drinking a lot, then I was drinking like 1, 2 every once in a while a week, and I would go up and down through periods, and then I'd go through periods of drinking it, having maybe 2 months of having it almost every day. So recently I just started, before I came to Woodstock. I think I kind of just decided this maybe in the last couple of weeks. Before I came to Woodstock, they're not going to have coffee, caffeine here. And I said, well, I think I'll stop for about a week. About a week before I came, I said, I think I'll stop, just go ahead and get it out of my system, so it'll be nice here. So a week of stopping, and then I get here. So by the time I get back to back to my house in Alabama, it'll probably have been about 2.5 weeks. And by then it's like, once again, it's not a matter. There was none of the mornings where I'm sitting around going, oh, okay, where you had to go through that. Oh, I really want some coffee. It's hard, the first day, the second day. I didn't drink enough. Obviously, I didn't have any detox or withdrawals. There was one day I had just the slightest, but I had that yesterday for some other reason. It's not like a headache, but I just get kind of this pressure back here. But other than that, nothing. But I've kind of decided while I've been here that it's time to let that go. Now, I'm not an all or nothing type person with some things. And when I say it's time to let that go, I'm not saying I've taken the vow. I'm never going to drink a cup of coffee again. There's going to be a time where I'm somewhere where I'm like, yeah, that's a good coffee right there. But for the most part, the coffee is gone. I've got a couple of substitutes, back home. Whether I've got Dandy Blend, I've got some Ticino stuff, and yeah, and maybe I'll have some herbal teas when the winter comes back around. But even though I haven't been drinking a lot of coffee, when I get completely and don't have a single bit of it for like, say, a week and a half, 2 weeks, even though I'm working at a different level. I'm trying to really up it, feel better and better and better. And I'm not going to say I went from, oh yeah, this miracle of I feel so much better, but I can really tell there's less of a, and also too, it was just, I didn't need to add that. I eat a lot of sugar in the morning. I drink my juice, I eat fruit, so I can't even really convey it into words exactly, but I feel better. I definitely feel better without it, steadier. And so I think that's going to be it. I'm going to let it go. People like to make these big deals about things. I definitely don't recommend caffeine. It's a stimulant. It isn't good for the adrenals. You can listen, somebody will quote that bullshit about, oh, coffee is this. That's kind of like the people tell themselves what they want to hear to justify things they want to do. And you don't need to. Do what you want to do. Like the yogis and the gurus say, some of them, they make decisions. I was just recently talking to a friend of mine, And his teacher in India, who is a yogi, does the whole thing, smokes cigarettes. And he's like, don't tell me about my cigarettes. So people do what they do. Anyhow, that's just me, guys. I'm always looking for that extra edge. I'm always looking for a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit better feeling, a little bit more energy, a little bit more health. So I think I'm going to let it go. And it just, it just doesn't fit where I'm going in my life, who I am, and yeah, so that's pretty much it for me. And other than that, I don't drink iced tea. I don't drink many. I might have a tea from time to time, but there's good herbal teas out there. So I think for me, I'm just gonna avoid the caffeine. But I'm a never say never guy, so I am sure sometime this winter I'm going to see a good cappuccino somewhere with some nut-based milk, and I'm going to have it. But now, for the most part, yeah, the coffee, the caffeine, just not for me. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe you got something out of it. I'm just kind of rambled about my history and my thoughts on my personal drinking of coffee. You got to decide everything for yourself, really. So if you like this one, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.